Is it true the virus only kills patients with Chinese DNA?
No, I don't think so. I think viruses are sometimes better than human beings. They don't discriminate.
Is it true that some people with the virus don't get sick at all? They don't even show fever or flu symptoms.
We have picked up people who were well, but they did have the virus from their throat. So yes, there are patients who are well or maybe even with hardly any symptoms. Whether these patients can transmit, we don't have that data yet. But based on our history and our knowledge from SARS, the more symptomatic or the more sick the patient is, the more likely he is infectious to people around him.
Can such a virus be engineered in a human lab for biowarfare?
Wow, okay. We don't think so. We don't think so.
So not some bio disease which was created by the US to collapse China, right?
Sounds like a good movie for the next James Bond movie, but not at the moment. At least not to this simple person here. I don't think that's the reason.
Is it not possible to develop a vaccine with the antigen of the virus?
While vaccine work is being started now in a few parts of the world, we are unlikely to see an actual vaccine in clinical practice for at least 1 year, perhaps, earliest I think, because you need a lot of studies before you can use that vaccine. So we have to make do with what we have now.
Does anything processed and shipped from China to any part of the world transport the virus and infect anyone who receives it?
WHO brought out a statement saying that no, we have not seen anybody catch this virus in that fashion. 3 very important factors in terms of how long the virus will survive outside of the human body. Number 1, temperature. Second one is humidity. And the third one is the type of surface it might land on. If you're on a hard surface, a non-porous surface, it can actually survive longer. The hotter or warmer and more humid, the less likely it will survive. That's why people are now hoping that the temperature will increase in spring or summer and this will die down. So I know they send stuff over very fast, but I don't think they send things that fast. So I think it's probably okay.
For passengers in an airplane, if there is one or more asymptomatic infected person, what are the risks of infection?
As a rule of thumb, if somebody on a plane has been found to be positive, they normally screen the row in front of them and the row behind them and 2 seats on the left and right. These are the people you're most likely to have contact with, and if you're to sneeze or cough within the space of a meter, this would be the areas.
Chloe Wong wants to know what kind of test would you perform on a patient to check for coronavirus? Blood test or a nasal swab or both?
Currently, it's a throat and nasal swab. The test is a polymerase chain reaction test, PCR, that is now done by about 12 labs in the government sector.
At this point, how long does it take for me to see the results?
In the hospitals, from what I have been told and what we have heard, normally less than a day, depending what time the specimen was taken.
Okay, my questions. Do our hospitals have enough beds, masks and medical equipment if we have a massive spread in Malaysia?
You are talking about massive spread, like the epic proportions like Wuhan. Of course, no country can take that brunt. That's why many years ago, after the H1N1 pandemic, WHO recommended all member countries, Malaysia was included, to come up with the pandemic preparedness plan document. And I'm sure all ministries of health will be going through their preparedness plan again just in case. All right, we hope we don't have to get there. But well, this is the time we got to pull out the document and start looking at it again to see if we need to implement it, how fast we need it to be implemented. Because it's a bit complicated, it's not so easy.